May you know the love of Christ, of God, of helping others. May you know the love of Christ that passes knowledge, that you may be filled with the fullness of God. Wouldn't you love to be filled with the fullness of God? You can do what a chat with Glendora does. You can take God, Christ, and helping others and use them all interchangeably. We see the universe as one, all of us together, helping each other, which is helping the universe and keeping it going and growing. We see it as all together. A blessing for one, Mary Baker Eddy said, is a blessing for all. Send not for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee, said John Donne, British poet. We are all one. And all day yesterday we worked together and we did all kinds of things to keep the universe going and growing. Now we have the secret to happiness. Shall we sell it to you or shall we give it to you gratis? May you know the love of Christ, God, helping others, which passes knowledge, that you may be able, that you may be filled with the fullness of God. That is happiness. That is accomplishment. That is significance. That is satisfaction. That is success. That is attainment. That is accomplishment. That is peace. That is joy. What is helping others? Drop everything and just help others. How do we know this is true? Because we went to our sanctuary and we sat down and we listened and listened and listened. And we heard that soul inside of us. The soul that is inside of here is inside of you. The same soul. It's one. It's continuous. It's the God inside of you. May you know. May you have the love of Christ, God, helping others, which passes knowledge, that ye may be able to, that you may be able to be filled with the fullness of God. That's what you want. Stop and think about it. Go to your sanctuary. You'll find out that this is the thing that you want the most. And this is the thing that's the answer to everything else. Where's that from? It's from the letter that the Apostle Paul wrote to his newfound Christian church in Ephesus, around about modern-day Turkey, to the Ephesians, the people who lived in Ephesus, and to the church that he founded in Ephesus, while he went on and founded all these other churches, Colossus and Philippi and now Corinth, Rome. Let's go over it one more time. May you be filled with the love of Christ, God, helping others, which passes understanding, that ye may be filled with the fullness of God. So that's our Bible lesson. Folks, this is April 1st. This is Easter. Yesterday was Holy Saturday, Friday was Good... yesterday was Holy Saturday, Friday was Good Friday, Thursday was Maundy Thursday. The Sunday before that was Palm Sunday. Lent is over. March is over. Spring is here. We put away the shovel. We put away the salt. I declare that we will have no more snowstorms. That this is the day that we've been looking forward to since November the 15th. The weather's pretty good here up until November 15th. And then of course the weather is good in a different way. Come now, all happiness, helping the world we go, caring and sharing, helping all glorious, or all victorious. Come and reign, no. Gone is the selfishness, ego is out. Come now, all happiness, helping the world we go, caring and sharing, helping all glorious or all victorious. Gone is the selfishness, ego is out. Help me do it. I'll help you. Now, want some jokes? Okay. There's one joke left over from last week that I couldn't read. And the teacher was saying, when I stand on my head, or when any of us stand on our heads, all the blood rushes to our head. How come when we stand on our feet, the blood doesn't all rush to our feet? And the little boy says, I got that figured out. Our feet aren't empty. This woman at the bridge table said, when I'm down in the dumps, I buy new clothes. And the woman at the next table said, I was wondering where she got them. The bank robber said, one peep out of you and your geography. And the teller said, don't you mean history? The bank robber says, don't change the subject. Daddy, what causes rain? Cold fronts. And the first day of your vacation. This camping party was hopelessly lost in the northern woods of Maine. They wandered around for hours. Finally, one of them got enough courage to say, you told us you were the best guide in the state of Maine. And he said, yeah. I am. That right now, I think we're in Canada. And Adam, A-T-O-M, Adam, was sitting on a park bench. And he was dejected. And a man came along and said, "Why are you dejected?" And the Adam says, "I'm not an atom any longer, I'm an ion. I lost an electron." And the man says, "Are you sure?" And the Adam says, "I'm positive." A boy and his sister were watching a video about the birth of Christ. And the younger boy said to his older sister, "What is a virgin?" And the older sister said, "A virgin is a woman who eats the vegetables." A man was a big fan of Beethoven, the composer. And he was at the grave of Beethoven. And he hears these Beethoven symphonies coming out of the ground. But they are all being played backwards, and they're all being played in the reverse order. The ninth, the eighth, the seventh, the sixth, the fifth, down to the first. And he said to the gravedigger, "I don't get it." And the gravedigger says, "You don't? He's decomposing." The dollar bills were talking to each other in a man's pocket. And the $20 bill said, "Oh, I've had a wonderful life. I've been to 2 inaugurations. I've been to a coronation. I've been around the world 3 times. And the $10 bill says, "So have I had a wonderful life. Very exciting, just like that." And then they said to the dollar bill, "What have you been doing? Where have you been?" And the dollar bill said, "Churches, churches, churches." I asked somebody to come and help me with a chat with Glendora for you folks, and he couldn't come because there was a death in the family. The computer died. A little boy was in the back of the church, in the front of the church, in the narthex. And he's looking at this plaque on the wall. And the priest said, "Those are the names of our people who died in the service." And the little boy said, "Which service, 9 o'clock or 11? Why couldn't Mozart find his teacher? Why couldn't Mozart find his teacher? He was hiding. And why was the boy staring at the orange juice? It said concentrate. So Bible and hymn and jokes, and then what comes next? Words. Very important. Very good stimuli to your meditation when you go to your sanctuary all alone and find out the answers to everything. Find out the success that you've been working and hoping for. One thing you will find out in your sanctuary that you'll never find happiness unless you're vegan. You cannot, your soul will not tolerate this cruelty that's going on. Animals. No more carnivore, herbivore, no animal products at all. Go vegan. We bought 5 30-second spots on Channel 6 WRGV Albany, New York, for $1,000. One each day, April 16th through April 20th. I took out my advertising agency discount, which is 15%, $150, and I sent WRGV $850 postal money order. Ooh! They got all upset. Send the other $150. Well, TV stations, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to give 15% to the advertising agency. Well, as annoying as it was, I just sent the $150. Somehow or other that will come back to us and it will be resolved. Did I ever tell you that you will get everything you want in life? If you spend your life helping others. I have personal knowledge of that. There's nothing I ever wanted in life that I didn't get. Why? Because others helped me get it. All day long yesterday, Gregory and I were helping others. Word 96. Equip. To set free or discharge from an obligation, a charge, or a burden. Do you have any obligations or charges or burdens from which you want to be set free or discharged? We can do it for you. Go to your sanctuary. Go to your inner sanctum and listen, and you will hear the answer. The answer, of course, is helping others. If you feel you've missed God or you can't find God, just go out and help somebody. Animals, people, go out and do good. And you will find God. And you will find happiness and fulfillment and joy and everything you've been asking for. It's as simple as that. Christ, God, helping others. To me, they're all the same. I had difficulty seeing Christ. I had difficulty seeing God until I understood that they were all helping others. That I could see. That I knew about. Today, Red Robin, which is a bed and breakfast, strictly vegan, and also an 87 farm that rescues animals, is having a fundraiser, $55 per person. So I bought 3 of them. Friend Madeline and her friend Debbie. And they're going to dedicate the bunny house, bunnies that they have rescued. This is not a bunny suit. This is a polar bear suit. A little girl at Walmart yesterday said I was a teddy bear. Well, that's close enough. So we're going today and they will serve us a vegan meal. And you can eat that with a clear conscience. So anyway, I was telling you we bought these 5 commercials on WRGB. And let me say the commercial for you. Hi folks, you've heard of the TV show 60 Minutes? Well, the name of this TV show is 30 Seconds. The next time you go to the supermarket, bypass the meat counter and go to the frozen food cases and load your grocery cart with veggie meats, hamburger, chicken, turkey, ham. 89 years old, no doctors, no medicine, vegan, and my cat is vegan too. Now let's say that again, see if we can get it into 30 seconds. Let me wait a minute, I want to get it down to 12 straight up. Here we are, 10 seconds. They say 39,000 people see the 5 p.m. news. Hi folks, you've heard of the TV show 60 Minutes? Well, the name of this TV show is 30 Seconds. The next time you go to the supermarket, will you bypass the meat counter and go to the frozen food case and load your grocery cart with veggie meats, hamburger, chicken, ham. 89 years old, strike. Hi folks, you've heard of the TV show 60 Minutes? Well, the name of this show is 30 Seconds. The next time you go grocery shopping, would you bypass the meat counter and go to the frozen food case and load it with veggie meat, hamburger, chicken, turkey, ham? 89 years old, no doctors, no medicine, vegan, and my cat is vegan too. We made it. 28 seconds. I told you before, that's what I don't like about television and radio, is that time restriction. Don't fence me in. No. People don't like talk like that in the living room. No. And that's why I like the internet. It's affranchised of that time restriction, half-hour shows, 28 minutes and 30 seconds. Commercials that have to be 28 seconds. No. That's why the internet is so much better in that respect. Now, do you want to hear the word acquit? Now, acquittal is a verb and acquittal is a noun. That is setting free by legal process from a charge of an offense. And these phony arrests that are so frequent, crooked, phony, deceitful arrests, need acquittals. They trump up an offense, they make a false charge, and then the victim should receive an acquittal, a setting free by legal process of charge of an offense. Come thou all happiness. Helping the world we go, caring and sharing. Helping all glorious, there's no glory like it. Or all victorious, indeed, that's where the victory is, and that's the only place the victory is. Gone is the selfishness, ego is out. My husband and I, Franklin Fuller Buell, my connubial joy, my conjugal bliss, since 1937, have spent on TV airtime. That's a business that we had, Glendora TV ads. We have spent $580,000. Be $81,000, counting the $1,000 we sent to WRGB Channel 6 this week. We have spent $340,000 on rent. That would buy a house, a nice house maybe, but it would also buy a lot of maintenance. Roofing, painting, a lot of hard work. We always preferred to rent where you just call up the landlord, you call up the owner, not a lord, not a landlord. You call up the owner and say, could you please fix so-and-so? We have spent $160,000 one time only for the business Glendora TV ads. We have spent $140,000 on groceries. 2 people since 1937. $120,000 on telephoning. $102,000 withholding taken out of our checks. $99,000 in income tax. The next one is a surprise, $97,000 on car expense. And $83,000 on technical equipment. $79,000 on one-time only personal, and $68,000 on refunds, and $68,000 on non-employee compensation, paying people to help us do the work, and $64,000 in postage, and $48,000 on gasoline. Can you relate to those? And extrapolate how much you might have spent on gasoline? And $45,000 on gifts, and $45,000 on donations receipted. What is going on in your life? I care and share, and I want to hear it. You know what's the best remedy for sickness? It's not a doctor, it's not a hospital. It's volunteerism. Go out and volunteer. Magic happens. The sickness goes away. What's the solution to sickness? Volunteerism. Don't be like a ship. When a ship is sick, it goes to a dock. Don't you do that. We have something like 300 contacts listed in our computer phone. Of course, there's many, many more than that. Many, many, many more. And we have to work on that list an hour every day to keep it up to date. And also to keep Google dialing the right numbers. Google, thank you for a voice dial. I could not telephone at all if I didn't have a voice dial. I cannot see the numbers on the screen anymore. But when you say, Google, call Jackson, please. Calling Jackson mobile. Thank you, Google. And thank you, Google Assistant. So we're at the state now, we've done this list over and over and over again. So when Gregory comes Tuesday, we'll go to the computer phone and go to the contacts. And we'll list them all over again. And I have to see, the print has to be this big. I can still read and I can still write, but it has to be this big. An hour a day on contacts. DC TV, give them credit. Their website is not exactly easy to follow, but they have a facilitator. Ours is Julia. And Gregory gets on the phone with Julia, and Julia gets him over the humps, over which buttons to press. And I believe that A Chat with Glendora week 1 for April, May is ready to go to programming. And I believe that week 2 is ready to go. And I think Gregory got ready week 3 and week 4 Friday, and they will let you know within 48 hours if they processed it. Now Philly Cam, public access in the city of brotherly love, has facilitators. There was Therese, there was Ryan, and Therese told us how to submit the program by DVD. That's not what we wanted. We want to submit it by computer. Come to find out, only one person can give you permission to do that, Debbie Rudman. And Debbie Rudman wasn't in. It was Good Friday. Which always comes, of course, near Passover. That's queer. All the other TV stations, like 20 of them who do computer, the others do DVD minus R. Anybody can give you the directions to your email how to submit a program by computer. Buffalo, Albany, Jamestown, Bolton, Atlanta, oh no, not Atlanta, they're still DVD. Well, that's interesting, isn't it, folks? We have made, since the year 2013, 58,300 telephone calls. These are out calls, it doesn't count the in calls. We're rereading 2017, the Jolly Joy Journal for 2017. And it's so interesting what was being accomplished a year ago. It's a great experience. Really a great experience. To keep a joy book and then to go back and look at it a year later and see if you made any progress helping others. Yes. Tremendous. I think that the views on Facebook are 118,000. I think the views on YouTube are 76,000. I think the views on Twitter are up to like 65,000. We asked Facebook, we said, Facebook, how much would it cost to boost a 30-second post? I think we said for a day. I'd like to see if Facebook can get more than 38,000 people. If it costs $1,000 to reach 38,000 people on the 5 p.m. news channel 6 WRGB 5 times, can Facebook beat that price? I think we're through renewals. Conway for West Nyack, Betty Ann Smith for Newark, no, for Bergen County, New Jersey, Kenny for Newark, Pat in Long Island with Lori Galgano for all of Long Island, Robert Jackson for Yonkers, the Reverend Taylor Holbrook for Wappingers, Susan Haywood for Peekskill. These are all things that there's no statutory authority for these things. They should be discontinued. They're anachronisms. They don't apply. We put the expenses into the book every day, and that's how we can read you how much money was spent since 1937. Glendora Vegetarian Club is going very, very nicely. In addition to being a club, it's a TV show. And we thank the advertiser for printing the articles every week. We have a think folder, things that you don't quite have an answer for at the time being. So you think about them every day. Sue Casey wants me to go to an eye doctor. She says, I'll make the appointment, I'll drive you there. Thank you, Sue. I can't quite see it, even though I can still read, as I say, if the print is this big, and if I write this big. But if I'm standing 2 feet from you, I really can't distinguish your features at all. I don't know who you are. I have to ask who you are. But I can get along. And another reason is that it costs so much money. It's a big racket. The whole medical field is a big racket, and the insurance, and they rip off Medicare terribly. I do not have Medicare Part B. I opted not to have it, 20, 30 years ago? Boy, has it ever saved money. Woo! Has that ever saved money? Not having Medicare Part B. And then the third thing is, I think that they found out how to do these cornea transplants by experimenting on animals. There's something wrong about that. The 2 Lincolns are in the garage, side by side, and they look what a garage should look like. Instead of being filled with junk and discards for people who are not organized and are too selfish and don't care That's what most garages are in the United States. No, they contain 2 cars, side by side with a nice swept floor, and nothing in there but the 2 cars. One Lincoln has 300,000 miles on it, the 1980 Lincoln Town Car, Mark 6 Continental. And the other Lincoln is just a town car, and it has only about 40,000. There's a closet in the hall. It could belong to either the apartment next door or to this house, the Happy House 3 apartment. And there's junk in it, about 8 pieces, boxes. Does it belong to the tenant who just moved out? Nope. Does it belong to the tenant before that one? Nope. Does it belong to the tenant before that one? No. That's how people do. They don't take care of things. Too selfish, too ego. He trusts us with his world to keep it clean and fair. All rocks, all trees, all skies, all seas, all creatures everywhere. He trusts us with his world to keep it clean and fair. Not to be ego and selfish and let your junk pile up and then go away and leave it for the owner to clean up. And then when the owner sold his place, he went away and did the same thing. Left a pile of junk for somebody else to clean up. He trusts us with his world to keep it clean and fair. All together, hand in hand, we will keep this universe clean and fair. Okay. We had such a good time at Walmart yesterday, and everybody had such a good time with this polar bear suit. The little children loved it, and the adults loved it too. Oh, that was fun to bring all that cheer and merriment. Museum is in good shape. You saw the video on that. Oh, it's beautiful, folks. And we filed in so many things. We've got to take out the April Joy books of 2017. Well, every Monday, dear, we have to do 4 TV shows for 6 TV stations. 4 each. Week 1 of June, week 2, week 3, week 4, and then they'll be repeated in July. And we take the footage off of either the JVC camcorder or the Canon camcorder or the JVC Jersey camcorder and put titles on it. And all those discs have to be labeled. It'll be 24 discs. They all have to be labeled. And they all have to be wrapped, ready to go to the post office in May. You video in March and April. Ready to be posted in May, ready to be cable cast in June and July. And we bought an antenna for digital, not analog. We don't know whether it'll work or not. We're trying to get WRGB off the air. In the old days, you could. May you feel the love of Christ, God, helping others, which passes knowledge, that ye may be filled with the fullness of God. And come thou all happiness, helping the world we go, caring and sharing, helping all glorious or all victorious. Gone is the selfishness, ego is out. And may you be acquitted or discharged from an obligation, a charge, or a burden. Lent is over, March is over, Holy Week is over. This is Easter. Christ our Lord is risen today, hallelujah. Songs of men and angels say, hallelujah. Raise your joys and triumphs high, hallelujah. Sing ye heavens and earth reply, hallelujah. The best Easter hymn of all time, of course, is When I Survey the Wondrous Cross on which the Prince of Glory died. My greatest joy I count as loss, and pour contempt on all my pride. You've heard of the TV show 60 Minutes? Well, the name of this show is 30 Seconds. The next time you go to the supermarket, please bypass the meat counter and go to the frozen food cases and load your grocery cart with veggie meat, hamburger, chicken, turkey, ham. 89 years old, no doctors, no medicine, and vegan. And my cat is vegan, too.